Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another video about Destiny 2. Ben Barrett here, joined once again by Mr. Destiny, Richard Scott Jones.
Hello.
This time we're going to be going through all the stuff to do with clans, worlds, and then a little bit on the Battle.net news, which I will be ranting about for as long as they let me. So we're going to kick off with the clans stuff. Now this is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Clans were in Destiny 1, as a total Destiny noob I'm saying this.
Yeah.
But not really, right?
Not really. Like, they were in there as a technicality, more or less. They were pretty weak. There was no real in-game support for them. I'm in a Destiny clan, and it hasn't really made a difference to my experience playing the game. But in Destiny 2, and this is the, well, there's one piece of news which is probably bigger, which you're going to talk about. This is quite a big piece of news about. This is how they're essentially going to sort activity engagement, right? Yeah. This is what is happening instead of proper automatic raid matchmaking. Clans now are basically going to be in-game. There's going to be in-game support for them in a number of ways. They'll have in-game rosters, they'll have in-game coordination tools. You'll be able to make your own custom banner for your clan, and there's also going to be a clan-wide reward system. So now that's the bit that's really interesting to me. They didn't really detail it particularly, right?
It sounds like a kind of proper progression thing, and they even said, right, that if you're not in a clan, you're still going to be affected by them.
Well, yes, that's because of how they're going to work into LFG. But just to touch on the reward system briefly, all members of the clan will sort of pool their efforts. So even if you're a casual player, your contributions will go towards...
I think exactly what they said was if you're playing every raid every night, or if you are logging into Crucible for one match every weekend, you're still going to be getting these rewards.
You'll contribute towards a clan-wide shared reward system. And all that's really exciting. But the way that it's going to affect people who aren't in clans is that clans are now essentially an in-game looking for group system.
Yeah.
So what you're going to be able to do is, if you're the leader of a clan, you will post what your clan's doing, right? You'll post that, you know, we're raiding tonight, or
we're going to go kill this boss, or we're going to do these strikes, or we're a Crucible guild, Crucible clan. Sorry.
Yeah. Only some activities will not have automatic matchmaking, right? Because as in the first game. So for the games where they turn that off and they still cleave to their reasons for doing that, where you know, we're worried about the community being toxic and everything, or if you're a noob and you try and join a raiding clan or whatever, they might sort of chew you out if it's all automatic matchmaking. But with the in-game LFG, the clan boss will be able to say, here's what we're doing tonight, here's our style as a clan, here's what we'd like from you. You know, we want you to be above a certain gear level, we want you to know what you're doing, know the strats and everything. You'll be able to browse it all and you can join. So it's basically taking the existing LFG tools like Bungie Recruitment and putting them in the game. So this is how they're going to solve access to late game activities. I think it's quite a neat solution.
I think it does sound interesting, and it's quite similar to something that World of Warcraft has that I won't go too deep into, but it does work quite well there. There it's governed by individuals, it doesn't have to be tied to guilds as they're called in that game. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how it works. To see if maybe communities build up around these, like, are there going to be best clans? Like, are you going to be, oh man, I'm in the, you know, sponsored clan from, you know, Method or SK or something. And I guess we'll see where all that goes.
I'd be amazed if it goes that deep.
I'd be surprised as well.
But yeah, it's going to some interesting places.
Moving on, worlds, the places we're going to be, the places we're going to be exploring, the planets indeed. There's actually, this surprised me that it was a new feature, and I'm getting a little bit of that from this entire thing, to be honest. Yeah. But there's going to be a map this time.
Yes.
Whoa.
Whoa, I know.
Party like it's 1996. Someone call the strafe devs.
Pretty radical, right? Yeah. Like so in the first game, what you had was a director. Okay. This is like essentially a HUD where you'd pick your, well, not a HUD, that's nonsense. It's a UI where you would pick the planet that you'd go to, and then you'd go into a new screen, and you'd see on the corresponding screen a bunch of nodes where you pick the activity you want to go to, and then you go. But you didn't have a map that you could actually bring up in the game. Now, that wasn't for sure confirmed, but that's basically what they said. Yeah. Like, this time around, you will have a map, and you'll be able to see marked on it with icons that looked similar to the ones that we're familiar with the first game, different activities on the map. But the difference is, once you're loaded into the world, the planet, there'll be no further load screens. So you'll pick the planet and the landing zone on the planet from the director, and then once you're there, you're there. And then you can bring up the map, look at the activity nodes, pick one you want to go to, and then go. And
the thing about that is you don't have to keep kind of going back up into space and coming back down, which was presumably, particularly on PS3 and Xbox 360, long times.
A real pain.
Okay, what else is going on with Worlds?
Well, so we learned what activities will actually be there in the worlds. Most, I think all of the old activities are confirming. So confirmed are more story missions, more patrol missions, more public events. This time they're going to have something called heroic objectives. We didn't get any details on that, but that's a nice, interesting addition. There will be treasure chests again.
We saw sparrows at one point in the video.
Yeah. So
I would be surprised if racing doesn't come back. I think it was quite popular.
The racing was a limited event. It was, I think, quite popular. So that'd be nice. But we didn't see that confirmed. But for sure, sparrows are back. So you'll be able to swoop around on your jet bikes again. Strikes are coming back. We know this, and it was confirmed that there'll be a brand new raid, but no more details on that.
Details at all.
Yeah, that'll be a big announcement when it happens. What's new, though, is there are 2 new kinds of activities, at least 2, there might have been more. And one is treasure maps.
Oh, right, I saw this, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, no real details on what that entails, but it's pretty easy to take a guess.
Basically, people are going to point you at things and you're going to have to go and actually find them, and maybe the marks won't be, exact, or it'll be in, like, territory you haven't been to before. As
in any other game, right?
Yeah.
And then the new one is Lost Sectors. So this is where you'll speak to an NPC out in the world, out in the wild. That's confirmed now, which is great. You'll actually be able to encounter AI characters and talk to them and have them point you in places.
Exactly something we asked for during our What We Want to See video.
Yeah, by pleasant coincidence it is. But yeah, you'll speak to one of them and they'll mark a lost sector on the map, and then you'll go to the lost sector. And what these are basically dungeons where they will contain a treasure chest and a boss who will drop the key to that treasure chest. So that's a nice addition.
Kill the boss, get the loot.
Yeah,
get the guns, go out.
I want to know how big they are. I hope there's something to them.
Decent scale, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a new addition to the world. Okay, so that's Worlds, and now moving on to the big news, the one that you're excited to discuss.
So excited.
Yeah, you
won't believe.
It's going to be exclusive to Battle.net on PC.
Yeah, it's super interesting. It's a really, really good idea. So I've been thinking about it for a little bit. I made the heinous mistake of tweeting earlier. So some of this leaked. Right. There was a big NeoGAF leak. In fact, a lot of this turned out to be true, right? I think everything he said that has been confirmed or looks like it's very likely. At the top of that list was, it's going to be distributed on Battle.net. And so I pretty much ignored it. I was like, that's obviously not true. Why would that ever happen? Yeah. It's not even called Battle.net anymore. It's called the Blizzard app. Why would you distribute a non-Blizzard game on the Blizzard app? Doesn't make any sense. That turned out to be the truth. That's what's happening. And it's really, really interesting, right? Because, Overwatch is humongous. Overwatch is a 30 million player game. Even if 30% of that is on PC, that's 10 million players using that app. Then you can take, World of Warcraft, Heroes of Storm, all the rest of it. There is a huge user base there that is going to have Destiny 2 pushed in their face, going to have the beta pushed in their face, and said, hey, you want to try this? There's going to be tie-ins. There's going to be... the Battle.net has all of the integration that they need. It's got multi-game friend systems. It's got friend broadcasting. It's got clan support. It's got text chat support between multiple groups of people. It's already built to handle World of Warcraft parties. It's built to handle voice chat as well. So all of that they can make work through their systems, which is genius, right? That's what they need. More importantly, it's also built with being able to put games in people's libraries for free for a certain amount of time.
Like free weekends.
There's an Overwatch 1 coming up in a week and a half. It's built to be able to take transactions, microtransactions, buy stuff from within games. It has everything Bungie needs to run this on PC. And honestly, I think it has the stuff they want more than Steam does. Steam is a much more open platform and it can do a lot of different things, but it isn't built in the same kind of way that Battle.net is, and it doesn't have the same sort of, the personality of Battle.net where you have the Battle.net friends. These are people you've played with for ages and ages and ages. And I'm sure people have that on Steam, but it also has all of this other stuff with trading and items, and it's less secure, and obviously it doesn't go through a company that is owned by Activision in the same way that Bungie are. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. I'm sure I could rant much longer about this, but the last thing you might want to think about is Call of Duty is coming up this year, and we don't know whether that's going to be on Steam either.
There you go. So thanks very much for joining us as always. Like, share, subscribe, do all the social guff if you enjoyed the bell.
Please do.
There's loads more coming up on PCGamesN, and we'll see you next time.
We will.
Cheers.